Okay, thank you very much for everybody joining us or catching up with this later. This is the number four, thereabouts, yeah, number four in this series of master classes of the Academy of Contemporary Stockbrokers and Savvy Investors, coming to you live from Brixton Library here in South London. Okay, I'm going to start off with a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, "Do not go where the paths lead. Go where there's no path and leave a trail. Do not go where the paths lead. Go where there's no path and leave a trail." And then that takes me to why is this being done? Yes. Why is the Academy of Contemporary Stockbrokers and Savvy Investors, why am I doing this? Yes, the reason is summed up in that quote of Ralph Waldo Emerson that says, again, just to repeat it, to reiterate it, that said, "Do not go where the paths lead, but go where there's no path and leave a trail." As mentioned last week when I had my friend and colleague Bumi Akpaka, who are here as a participant, that this is to democratize stock broking. The stock market is a very vibrant part of any economy, and Nigeria is not an exception. There is hardly a news bulletin go by, major news item, either at 7 or at 9, where you don't see stock market news. And then for many years, for many, many decades, many in the community, we are aliens. We've been aliens to this part of the economy. Many have not even heard of stock markets. What is it about? What is stocks? Yesterday, I was talking to a senior citizen somewhere, and when I told him that I've got something lined up for today, and I mentioned stocks to him, he said, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got stocks in Nigeria." And I was trying to tell him, "Oh, do you remember which company stocks he has?" He remembers having holding stocks of First Bank, and that he sends money to his brother. I was asking him, how long ago did he check on his portfolio? He said, I just send money to my brother. They buy it for me. That is as much as, and he doesn't even know whether the value have gone up or down, but he does receive dividends. And then, so that is one part of it. But like I said at the beginning, this sector of the economy has excluded not just many in the Black community, not many in the Black community here in the UK, but even back right there in Nigeria, it's seen as an elitist class. Not many people, I don't remember anybody in my own family, living in Nigeria talking about stocks and shares. And for those who know about it, it's sort of an exclusive club. So this is one of the reasons why this academy was launched last month, and I've taken it upon myself as the mandate of this academy to bring this sector of the economy to ordinary people, to anybody, to people in our community, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a pastor, whether you are a civil servant, whether you are a student, whether you are a retiree, You know, now everybody can access, can get this knowledge about the stock market. And I'm going to tie my earlier quote of Ralph Waldo Emerson to what a familiar scripture verse, which many of us know, that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You know, what you don't know, sometimes it hurts. Imagine, even imagine if I had this knowledge 10 years ago. Imagine if I had stocks of First Bank 10 years ago. Probably once, story probably will have been different. Probably I will have received many dividends by now. So the my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. It's not just a biblical verse, it is applicable in contemporary world. It is applicable right now, because if many of us are excluded from a very vibrant sector of the economy, if you've listened to, even today, I was listening to Arise News before leaving the house, they always talk about global market reports. And in that global market report, you're going to hear of performance of the stock market. For many people, this is completely Spanish. This is completely alien to them. So this academy is to offer people the opportunity to understand how the stock market works. And not only that, also to give you the opportunity to be empowered. And for now, this is the fourth in this series. These classes will remain free. At a later date, later in this month, I'm going to be launching a course which you can buy and then use also to supplement your knowledge. And one thing about this academy is that the knowledge, the master classes, they are so designed that you can be equipped to get usable skills, okay? Skills which you get, knowledge which can be translated, which can be transformed into skills by what we do here. These are skills which, as early as next month, you can be using them to set up your own brokerage account and then to have your own portfolio. So that is why I am doing this. It is to bring this sector of the economy, bring it home. Those who have been excluded, you now have the opportunity to understand the stock market, to be a partaker, to take a glimpse at it, and then you decide whether you want to partake. Like I said, there is hardly any major news bulletin on any news channel that doesn't talk about the stock market performance. So it's a vibrant sector of any economy, but yet more than 20% of the people, they don't have a clue what the stock market is about. So that is why this academy is bringing this knowledge, empowering ordinary people with this, so that you get the knowledge, you get the skills, and later there'll be boot camps. But you're starting off with these free classes so that you have the understanding of what stock market is. And as I've said 3 weeks ago, many of us, we just have, many people have bought shares, which probably they convinced them to buy a long time ago, and then you just leave them there. You have no clue. Your stockbroker does not give you a ring when the values are going up. And most people sell off their portfolio when they are in distress, when they need money, which is against the ethos, the science of stockbroking. You don't sell off when you're in distress. You don't sell off when your portfolio, when the value of your portfolio are down. Okay, so why this masterclass is, I'm going to log into my account straight away and do some live business. Okay, this is what I do every working day. Before coming here, I was sitting right there at McDonald's, and then before coming here, I made two moves. That is what skills, that is what knowledge, not the knowledge I acquired from the university. I have not even used that knowledge. The knowledge I acquired from university, it wasn't what I used a few minutes ago, sitting there in McDonald's, checking on the Nigeria Stock Exchange, look at my portfolio, made two moves before coming here. And by the way, today, is AGM of Vitafoam should be ongoing right now in Ikeja. As mentioned before, I have stake in over 20 companies on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. One of them is the Vitafoam. Today is the AGM. Unfortunately, I'm not able to attend. Of course, I'm going to catch up with it later. So that is just as an aside. So I'm going to log in. So I'm doing this. This academy is doing this so that ordinary people, so that this knowledge can be available, can be made available to people who have been excluded. That even if you have stake, even if you have shares, I tell you, there are things which you're going to get from this academy which you never get anywhere and which you probably haven't had before. So without much ado, let me do this masterclass is going to be a mix. That is some fundamentals, there's some lectures which I've given, but I'm also going to log in to my account to the Nigeria Stock Exchange straight away. And then I'm going to do some transactions because, like I said, this is what I do on every business day. So right now I'm logging to the Nigerian Stock Exchange right here from Brixton. That is the beauty of being a contemporary stockbroker. Okay, these are some of the benefits of belonging to this academia. Like I said, these seminars, they are free. These master classes are free for now. Later in the month, we're going to launch the academic course whereby you can get it and then use it to enhance your knowledge. Like I said, many of the knowledge which many of us acquire from universities, we haven't used them at all. And many people have used them, who have acquired this knowledge. They cannot even create even a job, a side hustle to save their own lives. This academy, this knowledge, you can use it. When you gain the knowledge, it can be used, to set yourself up and take part in the Nigeria Stock Exchange or any exchange. So I'm going to log into the Nigeria Stock Exchange straight away from the comfort of my phone right here at the Brixton Library and then do some transaction. I love this. It's fun for me. All right. Okay, let's go. I'm going to be telling you what I'm doing. So if anybody has any access to the stockbroker, if I reel out any number, the market price of any stock, you can cross-check with your stockbroker. I'm logging straight away to the Nigeria stock market, the Nigeria Stock Exchange, NGX, right here. I'm on it. And then, as I've said many times, the number one principle you want to buy stocks whose value are down. Okay, that is what I do. This is what savvy investors know. Okay, just as a heads up, I've read in the news this week, Dangote is planning to list probably later in the year. So get yourself ready. Of course, Dangote Cement is on the Nigeria Stock Exchange and Dangote Sugar. I have stakes in both organizations. Okay, right. I'm going to, so like I said, this is an interactive session. I'm logging to the Nigeria Stock Exchange straight away. And then I'm going to see what the situation of the market is and how I can take advantage Right. Okay. If you don't hear me, I'm just checking at the market. I'm just checking at my portfolio. I'm just checking at my portfolio. Boa Cement is at 0%. Is not up or down. Cadbury 0%. Champion Breweries. Let me have a look. Oh, okay, this is exciting for me. Champion Breweries. I have stake in Champion Breweries. Okay, the Champion Breweries is up now by 0.28%. That means the value of Champion Breweries shares, they are up now by 0.28%. I'm going to take advantage of this market situation, and then to offload part of my portfolio in Champion Breweries. This is how I take advantage, whether the market goes up or down. With what we are teaching at this academy, it doesn't matter whether market goes up or down. Right now, Champion Breweries, the value of the shares are up by 0.28%. Okay, I always keep my notes so that I have record of what I'm doing. 0.28% up is now 17 naira per share. I'm going to sell. So I'm checking my champion portfolio. I'm going to sell off 1,800 units of my shares in champion brewery shares. Okay, yeah, 1800. Okay, I'm sending my order. So that's the principle. I sell when my portfolio is up. Champion Breweries is currently up. In the Nigerian Stock Exchange now, Champion Breweries, the value of the stock is up by 0.28%. So I've got enough in my Champion Breweries portfolio. I've just sold off 1,800 units from my Champion portfolio. So whether market goes up or down, it does not matter to me. And it does not matter when you acquire the skills, to know that you can take advantage, whether market, you don't stay up, you're not staying awake, praying and hoping that your market fluctuations. No, this is economic activity. This is normal life that happens on any stock exchange. Market goes up, market comes down, and you must position yourself. You must be in the position to take advantage, irrespective of whether it's an up or down movement. So happy for that. Yeah, I'll still continue. So I'll check the market again to see the position of things. By the way, it's a very hot day. Seems we are coming to the beginning of spring. So unlike before, a few weeks ago, it was coffee, it was a cappuccino. Now I've got to get milkshake. That's by the way. If I was to do this, if I was to sell this take, for instance, I will have needed to email my stockbroker with instruction. I still have two stockbrokers in Lagos. They are there for a reason. I'm going to be contacting one of them later today for something completely different. But acquiring our skills will give you option. It's always good in life to have options. Okay, I'm just plugging my power bank. Okay, right. So I want to get on. I'm still on the floor of the Nigeria stock market, taking advantage, looking at market movement. Market movement, make my decisions. So the academy, what you learn is that you don't have a portfolio and then go to sleep. Right now, I'm still on the floor of the Nigeria Stock Exchange. Remember, I'm doing this right from here in Brixton. So, right, I've just offloaded part of my portfolio, Champion Breweries, sold off 1,800 units, and I continue. Okay, ICO Insurance, AIICO. Let me see. It's down by 3.41%. I'll come back to that, or I can quickly do that. Okay, ICO Insurance is down by 3.41%. I'm going to buy because you're positioning yourself to take advantage. So I buy and increase my portfolio in ICO Insurance. Before the end of the business day, it might go up. If it doesn't go up, if they don't appreciate, they'll be there right in my portfolio. Right, but I've taken advantage of market movement, as you have seen a few minutes ago. Champion Breweries, I offloaded part of my portfolio, and right now I've snapped up 1,500 units of ICO Insurance shares to increase to my portfolio. This is what being a savvy investor is about. I have bought and sold within how many minutes. So I'm still on the floor of the Nigeria Stock Exchange. I'm right here at Brixton Library, but I've logged into my account. Technically logged into Nigeria Stock Exchange now. Whatever I'm doing here, whatever they are doing, whatever is happening at the floor of the Nigeria Stock Exchange is exactly what I am seeing right on my account, and I'm doing the same thing. Okay, so I'm just going through the market to see part of my portfolio, what I can do. Charms, I've taken care of that one. So right now, okay. For instance, as we speak now, Dangote Sugar is still down by over 6%. Earlier this morning, it was down by 10%. When the market closed yesterday, Dangote Sugar was down by 10%. It has moved up slightly and is down. That means it has appreciated by over 3%. Dangote Sugar is down now by 6.29%. I'm going to take advantage of that now and add part to my portfolio. Dangote Sugar. It's down by 6.29%. So I'm going to buy some unit of Dangote Sugar because right now it's down by 6.29%. You buy when the value of a share is down. Never buy when the values are up. You are buying at a losing edge. Okay. So it's down at 70 naira. So let me see how many do I buy? I buy 100. So I'm buying 100 units of Dangote Sugar. They are down by 6.29%. I'm adding more to my portfolio. Earlier yesterday, Dangote Sugar closed at 10% down. So, but it has appreciated a little. Earlier this morning, I've bought some unit of Dangote Sugar when it was down at 10%, but it has moved up slightly. Right now, it is only down by 6.29%. So I am buying 100 units more to add to my portfolio. So it's a hot day right here in South London, and I think we're starting to come to the lovely weather. Right, so that's my milkshake right there just to keep the head cool. So the stock market, we should no longer be excluded from it. We should no longer be excluded. I do not want people to be excluded from this very vibrant sector of the economy. But also, let me say this: stock market is not a get rich quick scheme. Buying stocks, selling stocks, except you've got thousands. We've seen people have borrowed money. That's not what we're saying. It is not a get rich quick scheme. You cannot get rich overnight dealing in stocks, especially if you do not have the knowledge, or if you do not, except you have a stockbroker where you have bought thousands and then you can offload. But apart from that, I just want people to be to understand this sector of the economy and to be part of it. Like I said, the stock market is a very vibrant part of any economy. That is where companies' stocks are traded. That is where they are bought and sold. Right now, as I've said, I'm still on the floor of the Nigeria Stock Exchange, so I'm looking at my portfolio to do business. I'm checking through my portfolio to see right now. Wow, this is exciting. Hmm. Annoyingly, I don't have much in my portfolio. Eternal Oil is currently up by 10%. If I had enough in my portfolio right now, I could have offloaded part of my Eternal Oil portfolio because it is up by 10%. EcoBank was down this morning. It closed at negative. It was in bearish mood yesterday at the close of business, but now it's at 0%. So that means it has appreciated a bit. Okay, First City Merchant Bank, right, is up now by 0.39%. I think I've got something to do there. 0.39. And it's currently trading at 12.85 naira. I'm going to be offloading part of my portfolio. I cannot tell you, my First City Merchant Bank portfolio is quite enough. I'm going to be offloading over 2,000 from my First City Merchant Bank portfolio because right now, First City Merchant Bank shares are up 0.39%. That makes a lot of difference. I'm going to be selling over 2,000 from my portfolio of First City Merchant Bank. Okay, I've just offloaded. I'm sending my order. So this is what is happening right now. If you have First City Merchant Bank shares now, you can quickly get in touch with your stockbroker and say, please offload, sell 500 units of my stocks for City Merchant Bank. That is just giving you an example. But I can do this by myself from the comfort of my phone right here at Brixton Library. So I am doing business on the Nigerian Stock Exchange now. This is what savvy investors do. So this is what this academy is about. Like I said, 3 years ago, I was not part of this. I had, even though I knew there was a stock market and I have some worthless shares, but I didn't have the knowledge nor the skills. So this Academy of Contemporary Stockbrokers and Savvy Investors, we are bringing the knowledge of the stock market. We are bringing this sector of the economy to everybody, to your doorstep. Like I said, we have graduates who cannot even save their own skin. You can get knowledge here. And when the time comes for a boot camp, I'm going to show you how to set up your own brokerage account. And while you are waiting for that dream job, every working day, like I do every working day, I do business on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So, as people are right there right now in Lagos, acting on behalf of retail investors and institutional investors, I am doing the same thing. I have access to the same information which they have. So, as I've said before, many generations of family have gone by. Nobody has any stock. Nobody has a single share in many families. Many graduates don't even have a clue what the stock market is about. And remember, listen to any major news bulletin. Like I said before leaving home, I was listening to Arise News, whether it's channels or CNN or BBC. There'll be time when they're talking of economic news and you're going to hear stock market, just like you hear sport news every day. And yet, many people have no clue. They are not part. So this academy, this series of master classes are to empower you, is to bring you close, make you an insider, give you the knowledge, and when you feel comfortable, you can, throw your heart in. But I do not want people, generations of people, to remain outside, not knowing what is happening in the financial sector of the economy. This is one sector of the financial industry. See, many people here, oh, Dangote is there, Cadbury is there, Coca-Cola is there, McDonald's is there. Many people are just consumers. You don't have stakes in it at all. So these academy, these master classes will give you, will empower you with knowledge, and then you can convert this knowledge into skills which you can use to take advantage. First, you need to be equipped to be empowered with the knowledge. Secondly, you can then convert. Boot camps are coming later this quarter or next month, but for now, all through this month of March, every Thursday there will be live masterclass right here at Brixton Library. This is masterclass series number 4 for the remaining weeks in this month of March. Every Thursday, this masterclass will continue. All right, as I said before, this is being done because number one, the Bible says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Okay. Not because of anything, lack of knowledge is one reason. And many people, as I've said, many families, many generations of family, they don't have one stock. They don't have. The gentleman I was talking to yesterday said, oh, when I was asking, what stocks do you say? Oh, he has a Wema Bank that is not performing. Market changes every day. Wema Bank goes up and down. I've got stake in Wema Bank. As I've mentioned before, I've got stake in over 20 companies on the Nigeria Stock Exchange. But 5 years ago, in fact, 3 years ago, I had no clue. I just knew that the stock market was there. I have no clue. Many times when I live in Nigeria, I walk past, Marina, the stock market is, where it was, I had no clue, not a single stock. And that situation is the same for many people today. Their children, the same ignorance will be passed on to their children. So this sector of the economy has excluded not only many of us, we have stayed outside, we've left it for them. But if you look at people who are rich or middle class, you see, whether it is ordinary people, they have stocks, which many people just bequeath it to their children. Many people buy for their children. Many people introduce, but you need this knowledge for yourself. You can acquire these skills. And then, like I said, we have graduates who cannot even save their own skins, cannot create anything with enough knowledge and skills. I'm going to be bringing during one of the master classes or a boot camp how you can set up your own brokerage account. Despite still having two stockbrokers, I still have my home, which I do from the comfort of my phone. And as I've said, I'm right here at Brixton Library. I'm logging into Nigeria Stock Exchange and doing business. All right. So I'm going to continue right now. So you may not hear my voice. I'm going to check what the account, what the situation of the market is. Don't forget whether market goes up or down because I have stake. As I mentioned earlier, right now, Vitafoam is having their AGM. I have a stake in Vitafoam and, I've been invited to the AGM, but of course, I'm not able to attend. I'll catch up with whatever is being said today. But those are just by the way. So you have understanding of the stock market, you gain the knowledge, you can then translate this into skills. Imagine, like I said, if 4 years ago you had just 100 units of First Bank shares, a lot has happened between that time, okay? The market can change in a day. Like I said yesterday, Dangote Sugar closed at 10% down. I took advantage, added some to my portfolio, but it has appreciated a little when I got here. It has appreciated. It was down by just 6.29%. So these are the things that happen. And this is why many people have said, "Oh, I'm not doing shares again because the value of my shares, they have become worthless." Yes, the reason is because you didn't know. Your stockbroker doesn't ring you when it is time to sell. People only wait when to buy or when to sell when they are in distress. That is not. If you have a standing instruction with my stockbroker, for instance, let's say my Wema Bank shares, and I say, please let me get a feedback every week. But of course, you know why you are not called? Because you are not a wealthy client. So that is also something. Those who are wealthy clients, that is why you have wealth managers. The stockbrokers, they ring them, they say, oh, the value of your shares is performing. Do you want me to sell? Say, go ahead. But for ordinary folks like you and I, you just have shares of a First Bank or Nigerian breweries. You don't get a ring when their shares are performing. It is only when people are in distress and they need money, they say, please just sell. And they say, oh, do you know what the situation is? I say, I just need money. That should not be. A savvy investor does not do that. Of course, if your life is in danger, medical emergency, or you cannot feed yourself or your family, of course, you can go ahead and sell, at any time. But as a savvy investor, as a contemporary stock broker who owns shares, you only sell when the value of your portfolio is up. So I'm going to log back to my account and then see what I can do. But I'm going to be giving you commentary so you hear what I am doing. My team is not here. In subsequent master classes, you're going to be seeing the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange straight away. But I'm going to tell you the market situation now. Sorry, it's hot day here in South London, so I had to buy myself a drink before coming here. Like I was saying, right here, I spent about 10 minutes inside McDonald's and I made 3 transactions. Not everybody can do this. I'm not saying do this, but this, I could not do this even 2 years ago. I had no idea. I know the stock market was there. I was an outsider. Okay. So I do not want people to remain in darkness, not to partake of what is happening in this part of the economy. Like I said, listen to news at 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock, whether it is CNN, TVC, BBC, stock market news is a regular feature. Yet, just like sport news, many of us know about the performance of our teams in the Premier League. Great. I love football. I play football. I have teams. But many of us, you don't know what is happening in the stock market. We know how our teams are performing. You know, I am also more interested in the value of my portfolio. So right now, I'm checking back to the Nigeria Stock Exchange to see what I can do. Okay, right now, Secure Electronics is down by 3.45. I'm sure many of us probably have never heard of any company called Nigerian Secure Electronics. I have stake in it, and like I said, I have stake in the Vitafoam that is currently holding the AGM in Ikeja, NECA house in Ikeja. Right there, if you read my diary of a savvy investor, I put it there in the Monday write-up. But right now, if you get to, or if you know anybody in Vitafoam, any of the directors or the company news, the AGM is going on. I'm unable to attend, but I have stake. I'm interested. So if I'm in Nigeria, I'm not just sleeping on Vitafoam bed or using Vitafoam pillow. I can also be part of the goodies of how their business performs. So this is what this academy is about, and this is what many of us have been excluded from for generations. Okay, like I said, many families, no clues. Many graduates, no clues about the stock market. And it's a very, very buoyant and vital part of any economy. When if you live in London, you're hearing of the city. Yes, that is what happens in the city. This is what happens in the city, but you can partake of it with correct knowledge and skill. So right now, I'm just checking back my account, my portfolio. In fact, up to the sometimes last year, I didn't even know ABC Transport was on the stock exchange, on the Nigeria Stock Exchange. Can you believe that? ABC Transport that many of us have used from Djibouti to Aba in those days, or from Aba, or from Lagos to Owerri, or from Lagos to Onitsha. No clue that it was quoted on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Just imagine that. Imagine using ABC Transport and also being a shareholder. I'm not saying you're going to get rich through shares, but it is good. Tesco says every little help. Just have the knowledge and just think 5 years ago, if you had shares of First Bank, and think ahead 5 years from now, any knowledge which you acquire now, think of how that knowledge, the multiplier effect of your stocks. The other day, sometimes last year, I was listening to Sir Victor Atta, former governor of Akwa Ibom, or is it Cross River, on Rice News, and he was talking how he bought Econet shares in those days, and in time of trouble, I wanted to pay salaries in a state that of course, he bought many, they had to sell, So these, like I said, they are multiplier effect of ignorance. They are multiplier effect of financial illiteracy. They are multiplier effect also of knowledge. So having this knowledge ripple effects, just like their ripple effect, just like you said that if you want to know that if you think education is costly, try illiteracy. The same parallel applies to financial or stockbroking literacy. And like I said, every major news feature, you're going to see market news. Before coming to here, watching Arise News Morning Show, they had Global Market Report by Rotis Odiri. It comes up every day, and you see there is showing us the performance of Asian stocks and what have you. Many of us have no clue. We just want that segment, just go quick. I'm waiting for spot roundup. Yeah, that is how people exclude. 3 years ago, I would have said the same. My friend, just get off this my face, and then let me hear spot roundup. But you see, that is why I said that what that biblical verse is true. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Many of us, we've destroyed opportunities which we could have had. And again, like I said, imagine 5 years ago, you attended a stockbroking class and you knew, imagine you were there when MTN came on. Imagine you were there when you just got 100 units of MTN, a few years ago. Imagine probably what could have happened. You could have probably recouped your money. And then, or imagine you bought a GTCO, a few years ago, and you have the knowledge, or you're savvy, and your stockbroker gives you a ring, or you give them a standing instruction to say, please, when the value of my portfolio goes up, I want to be the first to know. Okay? Don't own shares and leave it to fate. Market goes up and down. Let me do quickly something. Again, like I said, secure electronics is down by 3.45%. If you asked me 2 years ago, I didn't know there was any company called Nigeria Secure Electronics. But right now, it is on the stock exchange. I've got some stake in them. It is down right now. It's trading for 140. Okay, I'm going to buy. This is when I add to my portfolio. So this is what I'm doing now. Okay. Right now, I'm going to buy 10,000 units of Nigerian Secure Electronic shares. It's trading for less than 2 naira. So you buy and hold. There may be no movement in the share price for 5 days. But also, I must say this, one of the principles of investing in the stock market is invest what you can lose and not have headache. Okay? Invest only what you can lose and not head to hospital. Invest what you can lose and not need prayer warriors. Okay? So, but you cannot have an omelette without breaking an egg. That is for sure. And that is why if you're going past any tip station in London, you see investment advertisement, they tell you the value of investment go up and down, which is why between now, the Nigeria stock market will close at 20 past 2 Nigerian time, 20 past 1 Nigeria UK time. Between 1 and 1:20, I am always busy because a lot can happen in 20 minutes. A lot can happen in 10 minutes. So these are fundamentals which you must know. But like I said, this is what this academy is about. This is what this masterclass is about. So let me continue on the stock exchange. I'm still on the Nigeria Stock Exchange as we are talking. And if I wasn't doing this masterclass, I would have moved. ICO insurance is down by 3.4%. I've got stake in ICO insurance. In fact, I'm going to go to Vitafoam very soon. Just that will be interesting. This morning, Vitafoam, which is having their AGM now at Ikeja, NECA House in Ikeja, it was down. I bought a couple of units to add to my portfolio. I'll get to it in the next few minutes. But let me quickly take advantage. ICO insurance, the value of the stocks are down. Like I said, I buy and hold. You cannot bet. You don't know when the market will flip. Okay? It can change today, it may not change, but I buy and hold. So I'm taking advantage of market movement for ICO insurance. It's down. I'm buying 1,500 units. Okay. So that order is being processed as we're talking. So it's a hot day, really hot day. I didn't check the weather. Couldn't have put on a turtleneck, but that is how London weather changes, just like the stock market. Okay. Let me go to Vitafoam and see what the situation is. As a matter of fact, let me check. Dangote Sugar is still down at 6.29. By the way, folks, Dangote is hoping to raise money again from the stock market. Position yourself. Position yourself so that you're not just buying the cement, you're not just buying the fuel from Dangote refinery. Many people are just caught up. Oh, yeah, Dangote, we don't have it. That's fine, great. But you can do something else. You can be a stakeholder. You can be a shareholder. Okay. So let me just go on. Right now, Fidelity Bank shares, as we're talking, is down by 0.25. I have stake in Fidelity Bank, so I'm going to add to my portfolio. I'm going to buy and wait for market movement. It's now selling for 19 naira 95 kobo. Okay, I can buy 1,000 units. So right now, I've placed order for 1,000 units of Fidelity Bank shares. Okay, they did their IPO. I was in Lagos about 2 years ago when they did the IPO. Fine, that's good. Many people, since we bought those shares, they're just there. You don't get a call from the stockbroker to know whether it has gone up in value or not. Like I said, that is why many people disenfranchised by stocks. They say, no, I'm not doing stocks again. The reason being that they were told they were sold into stocks when the prices were up. Never buy when the prices are up. And nobody told them, the stockbroker doesn't ring them, or people that told them to buy didn't tell them, didn't give them. Of course, stockbrokers don't teach you, just like banks don't give you financial education. You get that? Banks punish you or reward you with whether you have financial education or not, but they don't teach you about it. So that's by the way. So that's why many people say, I'm not doing stocks. Oh no, the stocks I bought, they have become valueless. They have become junk bonds. They have gone down in value. And the reason, like I said, is that they don't know that market movement, a lot can change in the market in a day. Talk less of having shares in a market for years. Of course, you'll be getting dividends. All these companies, I get dividends. But also, I still take advantage of market movement. And like, as I've said in previous master classes, I am not waiting for just dividends. Okay. It's like having a double-edged sword. Okay. I'm not waiting until First Bank declare dividends at the end of the financial year. The First Bank, I have taken advantage of it earlier this week. It has been up, it has been down. So I do that, and also because of my state, when it is time to declare half-year result, of course, they will reach out to all shareholders. So you are you know you are reaping from both ends. And like I said, this is why this academy has been set up. And do not forget what Ralph Waldo Emerson said: do not go where the paths lead. Go where there's no path and leave a trail. This academy is out to we're going where the not where the path lead, but we're going where there's no path, so that people can be equipped, people can take part. Imagine, like I said, Dangote cement, Dangote sugar. Many of us are just buying fuel from the pump. That's all we know about it. All many of us know about Cadbury is just buying our Bonvita. All many of us know about shares is that, oh, I have shares in First Bank. It is just there when they send me dividends. Fine, great, that's lovely. But also, the value may go up at a particular time, that what you might be able to get might even be the equivalent of the dividend that will come at the end of the financial year. So it is good to give yourself options. In life, you must have options. if you are in a position where you don't have options, it's not a good place to be. You must have options. So that is what this academy is about. I've got 5 minutes to go, but let me make one or two moves before I wrap up at noon. Meanwhile, I really thank those of you who have joined us. This academy, this masterclass will continue next Thursday. Every Thursday in March, I'm going to be here at Brixton Library doing this, but also I'm going to make one or two moves before I wrap up live trading, live transaction on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, consolidated holding, custodian holding, cornerstone is down there. Their communication is up. Okay, now I'm going to tell you this. That communication right now, you probably know of AIT, AIT, that communication is up right now by over 5%. I have stake in that communication. So I'm not just watching AIT. If I can, I'm going to sell part of my portfolio. Okay, I won't tell you the number, but I'm selling off over 5,000 of my portfolio in that communications. Okay, it's processing the order right now. It's being processed. That's my DAC communications order I am sending is being processed right now. Mhm. Okay. Order submitted. Like I said, at a future masterclass, you're going to see what I'll be doing, and also boot camps. I don't have the date now, but sometimes in April, I'm going to be organizing boot camp where from A to Z, you'll be taught how to set up your own brokerage account from the comfort of your phone, and then how you can set it up and then watch market events. Okay. Because, like I said, many of us, we've been excluded enough. Enough is enough. We have been just outside there. In fact, many people don't just know the stock market is there. We know of Mushin Market, Brixton Market, Dustin Market, and we do transaction. Many don't have one single stock. Do they know of any friend or relative who has a single stock? So this academy, we are bringing this knowledge to your doorstep. And then before I wrap up in 3 minutes, let me see if I can make one more move. That is the beauty of being a savvy investor. I've got 2 minutes to wrap up, but I can do business in 2 minutes. What I'm doing now is what is happening on this floor of the Nigeria Stock Exchange. As I'm talking, Dangote Sugar is still down by 6.29%. I've taken advantage of it 3 times today. Let me see. Fidelity Bank is still down by 0.25. Access Holdings, let me check. Okay, right now, Access Holdings is up marginally by 0.19%. The shares, the value of Access Holding shares, they are up by just 0.19. That is good enough for me. I can offload part of my portfolio. Okay, I'm offloading 200 of my Access Holdings portfolio. And then, as we're saying, as I'm talking, it's sending the order, it's processing it. All right. Yeah, it's been submitted. So, just to recap, I am now waiting until the end of the financial year for Access Holdings to declare dividends. I'll be there. The dividends will be deposited in my account, whether it is 2 naira or whatever the amount, but on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis, I can also leverage on market fluctuations. Whether market is bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter because number one, I have stake in more than 20 companies on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So whether market goes up or down in a day, part of my company where I have shares, they must go up. Some might go up, some might go down. So I'm always there to take advantage. Thank you so much for being part of this masterclass. I'll see you next week. If you have any comment or questions, please do send them to me and I'll do my utmost best to respond. On next Thursday, if you can join me live here at Brixton Library or subsequent Thursday, all through March, this masterclass says we continue, and sometimes in April at a different venue, there's going to be a boot camp where you will see trading. Is going to be on a working day so that you see live trading, live business transactions, and you can also take advantage. You can ask questions. It's going to be interactive. Thank you so much for being part of today. I'll see you next week.